Hey everyone, it's I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Vivi Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello Dashi, what are you doing with that shirt on your head? It's a Vivi shirt. Anywho, so a little bit on Omi before we get into the news. Omi is down about 0.6%, which isn't too great, but despite the fact that it's not too bad despite the fact that we only had about $460,000 in volume over the last 24 hours. We did outperform Bitcoin, which is down 2.74%. And we did outperform Ethereum, which is down about 9% after the merger. Like, damn. So that was, I think, clearly a case of buy the rumor, sell the news, and everybody sold the news after the merger. Nothing really happened. And we will wait to see what happens with a bunch of layer twos. So Omi we did not outperform the Dow, starting right now, but we are outperforming the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq over the last 24 hours since they have began. So I'm very, very excited about that as well. So that is the last 4 out of 5 days that Omi has outperformed everything, which is very exciting. So news that I did miss is Bitcoin.com a couple weeks ago had made a big article talking about Veve partners with Marvel to drop limited edition NFT covers featuring Spider-Man and Black Panther. And then that's just what it was. It was a few weeks ago. I did miss that, but the fact that they did that, I do think speaks volumes to what Veve is doing. Speaking of Veve and all things else, we do have, it is a Patrick Hughes X Veve Series 2 that is coming out. Again, Patrick Hughes is the elderly, so we don't know how many more drops he has coming, but I hope they get as much as they can while he is still around. So it is coming soon. We do have a House of Cards type of deal. That looks really cool. And then we do have a couple of robot alien type of things. I'm not 100% sure what they are. I'm not 100% sure when they're going to be dropping. All it is for those three is just saying coming soon. So shout out to them for that. On Marvel.com, they released an article yesterday saying Infinity Saga relics arrive at Shop Disney. So these are for physical stuff that you can get. And you can get stuff like the Tesseract. You can get stuff like the Eye of Agamotto. And you can get a bunch of other things. You have Tony Stark's Infinity Gauntlet. You do have the Orb. You do have the Ether container. And then you do have Loki's Scepter. So there are a lot of these things. Everything except for the Soul Stone you can get here. So I'm really curious to see, because we already have two of these things. We have the Tesseract and we have the Eye of Agamotto. So it's really interesting that these they go very, very similar into what Disney's having. I think people are going to recognize sooner rather than later that you do have the physical that will match up with the digital. When I asked David Yu about this, he said we don't release crap like this for no reason. That was with the Tesseract, by the way. In other news, we have Sarah Austin going and saying Ethereum will now sit alongside other protocols that are considered sustainable, such as Tezos, Solana, and Algorand. Previously, a single transaction consumed enough energy to power an average US household for a whole week. Post-merge, it will be closer to boiling a kettle. Very, very exciting about that. So we were talking about Lamp Thoughts here. Sleeping Comics said, Lamp Thoughts, blueprint for a bear market sellout, ? Provide additional value, which is an airdrop, and incentivize future drop, which is a promo code, thus assisting in the sellout of 2 drops at full price with relatively large mint sizes. I thought that was a pretty good assessment on that. And Foster Hills goes and says, could definitely be onto something with this one. Don't know that the promo code will necessarily help sell out a second drop if it's not valuable, as people won't purchase, but it will definitely help sell out the initial drop. So I definitely do like that strategy there as well. News from the Feeshes, Rockin' Blockchain says, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Everyone, quickly, we need to vote on rarities. Item 1 is a box thing. Item 2 is something that doesn't shine. Item 3 is something old and likely rusty. Choose the item, and the item with the most votes will be the most rare. So definitely go on the Feesh Court and vote for that. I'm not sure if that's over yet or not. That was almost 24 hours ago. That did come out after my last video. At some point today, Metaverse Life is going to release a really cool video. Okomi's excited. I'm excited. Everyone else should be excited. Those videos are absolute boss. Remember yesterday when I said Rarible is now on Immutable X? I had a thought, I didn't want to mention it, but Vivi Meister goes and reports, says the cat is out of the bag. Yep, that's definitely Vivi official on the Rarible marketplace. Blockchain and address is a match. Tokens and unique owners are just by a little off. Metadata incoming. And then you do see down here, Omi along that website. So I'm really, really excited to see what comes from that. But yeah, you definitely do see Vivi on there. Super exciting. Also, for those of you that do not know, Utility is giving away a World of Women NFT to the person who has invited the most friends to the Discord. Link down below to the Discord, so definitely go and grab that. Again, I'm not in the running for it because I am an ambassador. If I was in the running for it, I would win because I have the most amount of people that went there because of me. But anyone else, and none of the other ambassadors, I think, are involved with that. So it is really for the people. It is really for the rest of the community. Whoever has the most invites to that will win that World of Women NFT. And if you are a little confused, check the floor prices of those on OpenSea. And if you're curious, it is at Utility Art on Twitter. And hey, there's the NFT. Pretty heckin' awesome, if you ask me. Ooh, sorry about that. There are most likely, at some point, always going to be someone interested in your mint. This one happens to be a very special mint, Star Wars 1980 from The Empire Strikes Back. We have our very own Clever Jerk going out and saying, thanks to CB1 for the opportunity to own another historic Star Wars mint. That was the poster that we have from 1980, and it was, I think, less than $500. So people, if you got some good mints, hold on to them for a little while. So we have somebody that is complaining. I don't think it's a legitimate complaint, but we'll see what you all think. Saying, somebody from Facebook says, not happy at all with how Vivi handled this Sorcerer's Apprentice drop. In my opinion, the promo code should have allowed people to take part in a 10,000 mint pre-sale. Any of that weren't sold gets added to the public sale. It would still give people who landed a lamp on drop an advantage, but this, to me, is too unfair to people who couldn't land the lamp, totally backwards and a bad look for Vivi. So, for those of you that don't know how it works, basically, if you got the lamp drop, you have, I think, until the 22nd of September in order to go and redeem that promo code that you're going to get. And even if the drop sells out, then you can go and still get it. If you didn't get it on the drop. But because of that, that means there are 10,000 of the 16,000 that are out there that are made that are just held up. They're locked up and unavailable to people. That means there are only about 6,000 available at drop between the uncommon, the ultra rare, and the secret rare. So that's what that person, I believe, is trying to get at, saying that it should be for the people that don't mint, because again, if you don't mint them, they're going to get burned, which I really like. It makes things a little more scarce, makes things a little more collectible. Very, very excited about that. But if they decided not to mint beforehand, then that would just go back into the pool. That is what this person is saying. But again, I like what they're doing. As far as long-term collectors go, you want the scarcer, the rarer, the better. So anyway, moving on. Here's a photo from yesterday where I was invited to a whale dinner. A lot of people, a lot of money, and it wasn't a ton of people. I think there was like 7 people there, including me and another friend of mine that is very, very big, very, very heavily invested into OMI, and I did get 2 other people to commit to invest, and also 2 other people to commit to mint some Feesh. Link down below to the Feeshes. And that is something where I'm very, very excited about. I don't know if they minted beforehand. They were still at the bar when I had to leave. But they will mint some of those Feesh at some point. I really did want them to get to mint before midnight, just because there's so many airdrops this month. There were so many, it's absolutely bananas, absolutely insane. And there's going to be a lot of other airdrops in the future, not only the one that you get each month just for holding a Feesh, but other stuff that Brockman Blockchain decides to do in general. But moral of the story, got some more investors into OMI. One of the conversations being held there were other big ETFs, were big hedge funds, were big people investing into Web3. And it goes as no surprise that CoinGecko goes on and saying, they report New York's Museum of Modern Art, I was just there, plans to sell $70 million worth of art collections and is considering to buy NFTs. The collection includes Pablo Picasso's 1919 Guitar on a Table and works by Renoir and Rodin. So everyone is getting in because they know. And Museum of Modern Art is 5.3 million followers, so it's a pretty decent number. Amar Singh, the CEO of the founder of Utility, says NFT creator Doodles raises $54 million in funding at a $704 million valuation. The firm said it will use the money from that raise to further enhance its intellectual property. What type of IP are they going to buy? What type of IP are they going to create? Not 100% sure, but I think right now it's a pretty good time for a cap raise. I mean, best time for cap raise is really when you don't need it. This is, there are a lot of whales. There are a lot of big companies. There are a lot of big executives out that are sitting very, very liquid. Again, this is not their first rodeo. Like, I understand that most people here, probably most people that watch me, this is their first bear market that you're into, it's first recession. But a lot of these people that have been in the game 30, 40 years, this is not. They sold a lot of their stuff back in January. They sold as soon as that Ukraine-Russia war thing happened. Nope, selling everything. Why? Just so they could be more liquid. Why? Because when you have opportunities like this, like that stuff doesn't just happen that go back and forth and be over with in a couple of weeks. Recessions last a long time. They knew there was going to be opportunity. There's obviously opportunity here now. So I'm very, very excited to see what other things are done. And we do have, and I don't know if this is something where they should have had it at all. Anyway, everyone knows Grindr. Grindr is for gay men, and you do have Crockley George Arison says, yesterday we announced that in about 5 weeks I will become the CEO of Grindr. Thank everyone for the many supportive notes and comments about the last 24 hours. There is a big, big opening for women, LGBTQ, minorities like myself, in any of these roles. And some of the advantages, whether you agree with it or not, because I think the best person for the job should be hired, regardless of race, creed, gender, whatever. But there are some executives that didn't want to be accused of any type of racism, and they will, in fact, hire someone like me over somebody that, let's say, looks like the typical average American boy just because of the color of my skin. So if you are a minority, if you're LGBTQ, you are a woman, every now and then you will get an advantage. I just wanted to go in and report on that just for people that are looking for work. There's the NFT creators. Okay, here we go. Robbie Ferguson, remember when he was talking about $9 billion going into esports on Immutable X? Well, he says, because the merge isn't enough hype, we're dropping one of the biggest esports x Web3 partnerships in history tonight. So I'm really excited for that, to see what it is. Dota? And anyone comment down below all your favorite theories of what that's going to be. Speaking of tonight, I will be having Eva from Viviversity. I'll be having Vivi Fam Bam. I'll be having Sparky. And then I'll be having Some Girl Brittany over on the podcast. It is just to kind of help celebrate women. I will have that. I'm going to try to do it once a month, where I just have a bunch of women on and just see how they're doing in the space, what we think we can grow, how we think we can get that part of the human population to come on board, because again, that is half the population, and women a lot of the time move markets. Men might make the money, but a lot of times women spend the money. They're in charge of the shopping. They're in charge of gifts for people. They're in charge of that type of deal. So it's very, very important we get as much women into this hobby as possible. Moving on, we have Allison Bamcat saying, hey, Vivi official, I wish I could type my name into the search bar and see the collectibles under my name from the decon drop. Is there anything I can do to help facilitate this? And we've been asking for that for a while, but Vivi Digital Collectibles responds saying, hey Allison, we are currently refactoring search along with a number of usability features on both web and the app. Extraordinarily excited about that. Why? Because I've been asking for a working search bar forever. And that's just something I'm super pumped about. Anyway guys, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye Dashi. I love you guys. Bye.